Imagine waiting years for a moment you're not even sure will ever come, and then, in the quietest, most unexpected way, it finally happens, but not without a twist that could change everything you thought you knew about the future of Hope Valley. Because this isn't just a proposal story. This is the moment where love, past, and destiny collide all at once. And just when you think the story is giving you the perfect ending, it opens the door to something far bigger. The season 13 finale of When Calls the Heart doesn't rush into its biggest moment. Instead, it carefully builds emotion, almost teasing the audience with small, intimate interactions that feel real, raw, and deeply earned. Nathan Grant is no longer just the brave Mountie we've known for seasons. In this episode, he becomes something more vulnerable, a man standing on the edge of a life-changing decision, fully aware that one wrong moment could cost him everything he's been waiting for. What makes this even more powerful is how the show avoids turning it into a grand public spectacle. There's no dramatic crowd, no loud declarations. Instead, the setting itself becomes part of the emotion. The bridge, a place filled with memories, becomes the silent witness to one of the most important turning points in the series. You can almost feel the weight of history there, Elizabeth's past, her losses, her healing, all leading to this exact moment. Nathan's nerves are impossible to ignore. For the first time, his confidence cracks in a way that makes him more human than ever. This isn't about being a hero anymore. This is about risking his heart. And when he begins to speak, it's not polished or perfect, it's honest. He talks about how Elizabeth and Jack Jr. became his home long before he even realized it himself. That line alone shifts everything, because suddenly this isn't just a proposal, it's a confession of a love that has been quietly growing, waiting for the right time. And then comes the moment fans have been holding their breath for, the ring. But even here, the show doesn't rush. It lingers. It lets the silence speak. Elizabeth's reaction is not immediate, and that pause says more than any dialogue ever could. You can see her processing everything, her journey, her past with Jack, the life she's built, and the future she's now being asked to step into. When she finally says yes, it doesn't feel like a surprise. It feels like something inevitable, something that was always meant to happen, but needed time to become real. The embrace that follows isn't just romantic, it's symbolic. It represents a new beginning, not just for them, but for the entire tone of the show moving forward. But here's where everything changes. Just as the audience settles into this perfect emotional payoff, the story shifts, and it does so in the most subtle yet powerful way possible. The sound of approaching wheels, the quiet interruption of what should have been a peaceful ending, it signals something bigger is coming. Something that doesn't just add to the story, but reshapes it entirely. Because this finale isn't just about giving fans what they want, it's about reminding them that in Hope Valley, no moment of happiness exists without the possibility of change. And just when you think you've reached the end of a journey, another one is already beginning. And just when it feels like the story has reached its most perfect, emotionally satisfying conclusion, the finale pulls the ground out from under you in the most unexpected way. Because that peaceful moment between Nathan and Elizabeth, it doesn't last. It can't last. Not in a town like Hope Valley, where the past has a way of returning exactly when you least expect it. The shift is almost cinematic. The light begins to fade, the warmth of the proposal still hanging in the air, and then movement. A carriage rolls into town. At first, it feels ordinary, almost easy to overlook, but there's something different about it, something intentional. And as it comes to a stop, the energy of the entire scene changes without a single word being spoken. When the door opens and Abigail Stanton steps out, everything freezes. This isn't just a return, it's a moment that instantly rewrites the emotional balance of the entire series. Because Abigail isn't just another character, she is one of the original pillars of Hope Valley. Her presence carries history, authority, and a deep emotional connection that no one else can replicate. The look on Elizabeth's face says everything. Shock, disbelief, and overwhelming joy all collide in a single expression that feels completely real. What makes this moment so powerful is how quiet it is. There's no dramatic music cue forcing you to feel something. Instead, the weight of the moment comes from everything Abigail represents. The years she's been gone, the relationships left unresolved, the sense that something important has been missing until now. But this isn't just about nostalgia. Abigail's return immediately raises questions that push the story forward. What does this mean for the leadership of the town, for the emotional dynamics between characters like Henry and Bill, for Elizabeth, who is stepping into a new chapter of her life at the exact same time that her past is walking back into it? And then there's the timing. That's what makes it truly fascinating. The show doesn't bring Abigail back at a random moment. It brings her back at the exact point where Hope Valley is transitioning into something new. Nathan and Elizabeth's engagement signals the start of a new generation, a new family at the center of the story, and Abigail's return bridges that future with the show's past in a way that feels intentional, almost symbolic. It's like the story is saying, before we move forward, we need to remember where we came from. Meanwhile, the ripple effects of this moment spread quietly across the rest of the characters. You can feel it in the background, in the way people react, in the subtle shifts in tone. Because while the proposal brought closure to one arc, Abigail's return opens multiple new ones at once. And this is where the finale becomes more than just an ending, it becomes a setup. Season 14 is no longer just about a wedding, it's about everything that comes with it. The challenges of building a life together, the pressure of change in a growing town, the return of unresolved relationships that could reshape everything. Even Lucas's quiet acceptance in the background hints that his story is far from over. It's simply evolving into something different. But perhaps the most important takeaway from this finale is its core theme, coming home. Every major moment circles back to that idea. Nathan finding his place with Elizabeth, Abigail returning to the town she helped build, characters letting go of the past while still honoring it. It's not just about romance or drama, it's about belonging. And yet, despite all the warmth and closure, there's an underlying tension that never fully disappears. Because if there's one thing this finale makes clear, it's that Hope Valley is changing, growing, moving into a future that won't always be as simple or as safe as before. The final images don't just leave you satisfied, they leave you curious, wondering what happens next, wondering how these relationships will evolve, wondering whether this new beginning will come as easily as it seems. Because in Hope Valley, every ending is just the start of something bigger.